Ken, when you set out your goals at the beginning of the year, did you factor in being able to maybe go to a New Year's Day Bowls and maybe even winning more games than any program, any team in history of the program?
I mean, those are always our goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just when we came in this league, we wanted to win it. We wanted to continue to win the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. And we recognized if you had a chance to compete in your league, you might be one of those, teams of non-Big Five to have a chance for the New Year's Six. But, it's great that those are still out there, but, all of our focus is on SMU.
Do you have to kind of remind your team that? I mean, that not to breathe their press couplings too much?
Well, you have to remind them, but I feel good from the standpoint we have a senior-laden team. Keenan and Bernie have already, told our guys, to watch out for all those dangers and pitfalls and people patting you on the back.
Yep.
And we're playing a team that, 4 of their losses have come to top 25 teams.
Right.
And so we just got to continue to keep grinding, Gene, and just keep doing what we've been doing.
Is it to see Keenan maybe get the record this time, final regular season home game for the seniors? I mean, would that be special too, even though he didn't get it last week?
Well, it'd be really exciting. I mean, really exciting for him to get the record whenever that happens. And, it'd be nice to send him out the right way and all the rest of the seniors. But our focus, can't be on the seniors, the record. We got to find a way to play well and get the W, just like he's been talking about.
Right.
And if that happens, I think it will take care of itself.
And defensively this season, could you imagine how well it would have gone? I mean, given what happened at the beginning of the year.
I mean, we're playing lights out right now. We're playing as good as we've ever played here. I think our numbers are probably as good as since I've been here. I can't remember them being any better. So, for those guys to step in the situation that they did, I think Dale's doing a phenomenal job. Defensive staff is doing a phenomenal job. Our players are playing well. To hold Memphis to 20 points, I mean, nobody's stopped those guys.
Yeah.
So, it's a great accomplishment for us because we got a ton of respect for Memphis and who they are as a program. And we just hopefully build off that and continue to press forward.
And then you've kept the turnovers down to a minimum too. That's obviously huge. That's what you want to do every year, right? I mean, how much of a factor has that been?
Well, one of our main goals this offseason, to win the CSE and, win the conference. But the one that I was really pressing for, I want to be number 1 in the country in turnover margin. Because we feel like if we do that, it gives us a chance. And last year, we won some games, but we thought we left 2 or 3 games out there because we turned the ball over. And so we got to continue to do that, continue to play well on defense, and just keep working. And, hopefully good things will continue to happen.
And health-wise, everyone, no major concerns or anything?
Not good. Well, we're as this far into the season, we're as healthy as we've been. We got 2 guys in red jersey, young guys that hurt their, strained their hamstring running yesterday. But for the guys that are playing, I mean, knock on wood, I mean, we're as healthy as we can be. I mean, guys are banged up like everybody else, but we're pretty healthy right now.
Thank you, Ken.
Take care.
Okay.
Good, how are you?
Good. So at the beginning of the year, when you kind of factored in your goals, how much did you think about maybe going to a New Year's Day Bowl and then possibly winning more games than any team in the history of the program?
It's hard not to think about that stuff. If you're a competitor, that's what you think about. But for us, we just wanted to take it one game at a time. To win 13 games, you got to win 1. So definitely the 1-0 mantra was really good for us. So just taking it one game at a time, no matter the outcome, win or lose. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we've seen success over the last couple games.
And we're obviously all waiting on Keenan to get that record. Would it to happen, the final home game, regular season for the seniors, be special? And is it all the distraction that you have to kind of? It's part of the narrative, like every week almost until he does it.
Yeah, it's like it's suspense feeling, like you don't know when he's gonna do it. But yeah, it'd be awesome, in front of his family. In Navy Marine Corps, we played a lot of games, and just to see it come to an end, or our senior season coming to an end. So yeah, it'd mean a lot. But at the end of the day, we're just, we're playing football. We're playing a good SMU team. So we have to execute. Whether if he scores or not, I want him to score. But the win's more important. So we just have to go out there, execute, do our assignments, and hopefully he gets the touchdown.
Do you have to remind yourself to stay grounded almost with all the press clippings and all the good good things people have to say about this program?
Yeah, definitely. You got to stay humble. You know, because once you start patting yourself on the back, that's when it all goes downhill. Keenan said it best in one of his articles where he's like, you got to focus on the climb, not the mountain. So definitely just trying to, appreciate, all the praise, but at the end of the day, knowing that you still have to work hard for it. So yeah.
Thanks, CK. Appreciate it.
Thanks, CK.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
You ready to get this record kind of out of the way so you can just move on from it?
Yeah. So I don't have to answer any questions.
Yeah, we're sick of asking too, believe me.
Yeah. We've been on the cusp for a while, but we'll get it eventually.
To think about it possibly happening on Senior Day, I mean, that's a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be. It would be an awesome thing to do it in front of the home crowd, and so we'll just see what happens on Saturday.
At the beginning of the year, did you guys factor in maybe going to a New Year's Day Bowl and perhaps winning more games in a season than any other program in history? I mean, those are huge goals to have, but was that in the conversation?
I think that's every team that has the opportunity to do so has that as their season goals. But the only thing we worry about is 1-0, one game at a time.
Right.
But obviously from a long-term perspective, from a big picture perspective, that's definitely something that we've aspired to accomplish. But you can't do that if you overlook games, if you take weeks off. So, we're focused on each week, each game, each day.
Do you have to remind some of the younger guys to kind of stay grounded with all the good press that you've been getting?
I think we have a really good group of seniors that kind of do that collectively. We're hard on each other in practice. I'm making sure guys lined up right. I know senior A-backs, linemen, they're getting after guys. So, I mean, we got a good group of seniors that know what it takes to win, and I think those guys are the reason why we're able to keep the youngins grounded. And plus, the youngins look up to us. They see how we act, how we come out to practice. If we're holding the ball high and tight, if we're upholding the standard that we started in camp, and they imitate that. So we hold ourselves to the highest standards.
Coach was talking about wanting to be #1 in turnover margin this year. You guys you're not turning it over at all. What's kind of been the difference? How have you been able to do that this year?
I think it's just considering 85% of them were my fault last year, just a huge focus on taking care of the football, being decisive on the meshes. That was a lot of fumbles, crisp with the pitches, and just across the board for all ball carriers, high and tight, squeezing the ball. We had a couple of contact fumbles, and that happens from every now and then. But at the end of the day, we just have a huge focus. I mean, we got a 5-minute period where we focus on nothing but ball security. Do it before the game. We do it on Fridays. I mean, it's a huge thing. So I think that increased focus from everybody of taking care of football and not wanting to lose games for turnovers has played a huge part.
Certainly you guys knew, you had confidence going into Memphis you could win that game, but does it matter to you that now it's more of a national stage, that Navy's now nationally known as a team that went in there and pretty much handled a team that was, a top 13 team?
Like you said, we had the confidence that we could go in there and win. And all the national attention doesn't mean anything if you don't perform week to week. So, we're getting ready for SMU. We're focused on that because, the highs are high and the lows are low. So we just try to keep it up 1-0 each week.
I was going to ask you about Senior Day. Is it hard to believe it's here already?
Yeah, it flew by. I mean, I remember sitting as a freshman hearing, both Bo Snelson and Brandon Turner and all those guys kind of tearing up, talking about their last home game, and how here I am about to play my last official regular season home game. So
going out there on the field with your parents before the game.
Yeah, I mean, I never even thought about that. I was always in the locker room, but now I had to turn in my names for that and who was going to get announced and all that stuff today. So it's kind of surreal. I haven't really thought about it. I probably won't think about it until after the game. Be like, wow, that was the last one.
Are you proud of what the senior class has accomplished? And it's not over.
I think so. And like you said, it's not over. We have a long way to go. A lot of football left. So it's no time to pat ourselves on the back. We're going to keep grinding and keep working. And in January, when we have our meeting at the beginning of the semester, then we can pat ourselves on the back and be proud of what happened.
And some of the guys you've gotten to know, the Bernie and Will Anthony and Chris Swain, is it something you'll cherish all your life with these friends you've made?
Definitely. I think when we reconnect for reunions or whatever the case may be, coming back to an old game, I think we'll be talking about plays and games. I mean, I remember I went on spring break with some seniors last year, and we were talking about plays from my sophomore and freshman year and just cracking up laughing. So, it's definitely a bond that we'll share from not just the seniors, I think across all classes for years to come.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Keenan.
Thank you.
I had a great career. I'm happy with it. Now it's all about finishing my Naval Academy and my football career, for that matter. So I'm excited.
Take us back. I mean, being a local kid growing up, always seeing the stadium around, being around the area. How neat is it that you go to the Naval Academy and you're going to graduate from the Naval Academy?
It's awesome. Like I said, I got a lot of people in the community behind me, and a lot of my family can attend games. A lot of the community can attend games, and I'm taking more of a leadership role in the community because I'm from the area. So like the kids, I'm hoping to provide like an example for the kids under me. You know, they can come to the Naval Academy, they can graduate, they can play football from the Naval Academy, they can do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, you come here and you never know how things are going to turn out, but you can look back and say that you've had a pretty productive career, played a lot of football. Kind of talk about that.
Yes, sir. I've been blessed in my Naval Academy career to stay healthy for the most part. Traveled for a good amount of time, played in a lot of key games, had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people, played under some good coaches, great stadiums. It's been an experience, and I enjoyed every part of it.
I know, I mean, the slots never know who's going to get the ball. I mean, you haven't gotten a ton of carries, but when you have, you've been productive. Is that kind of the mindset you have to have? You never know when you're going to get it, but
yeah, when your number's called, you just need to make a play. And we as a NABAC group, we can make plays without the ball in our hands. Like we can block and spring a big play and stuff like that. That's making the same play as if I ran a 75-yard touchdown, if I spring a 75-yard touchdown. So it's all the same to me, as long as we get the W and make plays.
Have you had some moments like that where on film the next day they showed and it was your block that got to Brandon free or someone?
Yeah, I think all the A-backs have, but like, yeah, I had a couple throughout the years.
You take pride in blocking?
Oh, yes, sir.
What are some of your best memories as you look back upon it, Deon?
Army's always a blessing. Going to meet the president, bowl games, Air Force. All my touchdowns are pretty special, especially the one against Air Force my sophomore year and the one against Notre Dame my junior year. I had a lot of family at both of those games, so it was pretty special
memorable
time. Yeah, a lot of family gets to watch it on TV, so it was nice.
And what do you think of this past game? You get a touchdown because your senior quarterback was unselfish and didn't want to score the record. Gives it to you instead.
Yeah, Coach Niumatalolo said that to us in the locker room. He said that was one of the most unselfish plays he's seen, and that's the reason why this team is special, because we have so many unselfish players like Keenan, and he's not afraid to be unselfish, and just for us to win games. So.
So what is going to be the future for Deon Brown? Have you thought about what would you like to have for service selection? I know you haven't gotten it yet.
I would like to be a surface warfare officer stationed out of San Diego. So hopefully that comes. Hopefully everything's work out. So.
Right, and you've done well in school and all of that. I mean, has that been important to you because you are a role model to the community? And Coach at work was saying about seeing a bunch of little Old Mill youth football players there with their jerseys on. And they all look up to you. Have you felt it's been important to do well, both not just on the football field, but academically and militarily?
Oh, definitely. Like you said, those little kids, that was my nephew's team, by the way. They all come to the game, and I talk to them. I talk to all of them, and yeah, I have to keep my grades up and do everything the right way, because, like you said, those young ones are looking up to me. So if I'm out here setting a bad example, then they're gonna do bad things, and that's not what we want, especially not for the Annapolis community.
All right. Thanks, Deon.
Thank you.